Hey everybody, welcome back to Tavian's World of Reptiles. I hope you all are healthy and doing well. So today we are joined by Skellington, my Amazon tree boa. He is gorgeous. So I wanted to talk to you guys about cohabbing snakes. And I was prompted to do this because somebody commented on one of my previous videos and they said that they had a king snake in its own enclosure. But then they said that they had a ball python which was sharing an enclosure with their corn snake, and they asked if this was okay. I, of course, promptly told them that no, it was not a fit environment for the snakes, and I wanted to talk to you guys about why that is the case, because I do believe that, I could have newer snake keepers coming to my channel, and I want to, just go ahead and give as much information as I can to you all. And let me tell you why this particular situation is not okay when it comes to cohabbing. So first and foremost, these are two very different species that we're talking about. Ball pythons and corn snakes are nowhere near the same species, and they have very different husbandry needs, and it is impossible for you to create an environment that cares for both of their needs because of how different they are. For instance, ball pythons have higher humidity requirements, and corn snakes do not really require much humidity at all. And actually, being kept in too humid of environments can cause them to have respiratory infections and other such illnesses. So it's not ideal to keep a corn snake in the same environment as that of a ball python. The reason why this probably would not be a good thing to do is because of illnesses. If you get a snake that gets sick, you have a better chance of protecting your other snakes from that illness if they have their own enclosure. That means by the time you see that you have a sick snake, you should be able to take that snake and put it into quarantine until you've gotten it to a vet and are taking care of its medical needs and getting it back to health. Otherwise, your snake is immediately at risk of getting sick because it is sharing the exact same environment with that snake that got sick initially. Another really big reason why it's not okay to cohab is because snakes in general are not really social creatures. They do not go out of their way to look for other snakes to hang out with, just be social. Their main reason to seek out other snakes is for breeding purposes only. Now, this is not to say that there are not snakes who have been kept together in captivity for long periods of time, not in the same enclosure, but in the same environment, meaning they spent a lot of time with each other outside of their enclosures and have grown to grow fond of each other. I mean, there's instances of that, and I truly believe that snakes who interact a lot with each other can grow to be fond of each other. But overall, in the wild and in general, snakes are not social creatures. They prefer to be alone. Now, you'll often probably see people who do co-house and they'll show their snakes are all cuddled up together and they say that they're snuggling, and this is not really the case. What's usually happening at this point is that they're huddling over the very singular heat source that is available, and they're both trying to get in on the heat, and unfortunately that means that you have to snuggle together. So this is not really them being social with each other. This is just them both seeking out a warm spot, and that is the spot that is most desired by both of the snakes. Yes, there are some species that do well being cohab, but that is a very low number when it comes to the overall number of snakes there are in the world. I know for a fact that some garter snakes can be kept in cohabit situations, as well as some water snakes can be cohabbed in situations, and they can be cohabbed together in some situations from what I have seen. Actually, do not take my word on that. I'm still doing more research on it, so I would love to come back after I do more research on which snakes can be cohabbed together and do a full-on video about that. But as far as I'm concerned, those are the only ones that I know might do well together, but I definitely suggest you do your own research on that. Never take a singular source for anything when it comes to doing research on keeping snakes. One of the few times that snakes are deliberately put together is during breeding season, and usually even breeders do not keep them in there for extended periods of time. It's really dangerous even during breeding season to do this, because the males can continue to harass the females, and if they are not interested, they could become agitated enough to actually attack your young male. And in some cases, it could go as far as them actually eating the male, and then you would be out of a male, and that would just suck. So it's always a risk for those who are breeding to go ahead and put them together. Usually they're watched as closely as they can be watched, but as I said, it's always a risk. So if you don't know what you're doing and you're not really trying to breed, it is safer for you to just go ahead and give all of your snakes their own enclosures, unless, like I said, we were talking about garter snakes or something like that, where you have done the research and found out how to safely provide them a cohab situation. If you are thinking about doing cohabbing for garter snakes, I highly suggest you check out Snake Discovery. She is fantastic, and they talk a lot about cohabbing their garter snakes. So if you're interested in doing something like that, that might be a channel you might want to look into. So other than that, I hope you guys really appreciate the video. I hope this was helpful information for you. Please, if you cannot get a second enclosure for your snake, then do not get the second snake, because you do not want to put your snakes at risk. It is not worth it. They all deserve their own space. They are solitary creatures for the most part. Yes, my snakes come out, and yes, they interact with each other on the outside, but that is as far as it goes. I will not allow them to actually stay housed together in the same enclosure for any extended period of time. So that's all I have to say with you about that topic today, you guys. You guys have a fantastic day. Love yourselves, love your reptiles, and you guys keep spreading those herbs.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.